As I approach the entrance to Arches National Park, the landscape begins to shift dramatically. Towering red rock formations rise from the desert floor, hinting at the surreal beauty that lies ahead. The entrance station sits beneath a backdrop of rust-colored cliffs, welcoming you into a world sculpted by time and weather. Just beyond the gate, the road winds upwards towards a series of dramatic switchbacks, revealing panoramic views of the high desert and distant LaSalle Mountains. It's not just a gateway, it's the first taste of breathtaking geology that defines this iconic Utah park. Buckle up because the adventure begins the moment you drive through those gates. Just minutes from the entrance, I come to my first stop, the Park Avenue Trail. It offers an unforgettable first impression. Starting at the viewpoint, the trail drops into a stunning canyon flanked by massive sandstone walls that rise like a natural city skyline. It's easy to see how it earned its name, Park Avenue. As you walk between these towering formations, you'll pass iconic landmarks like the Three Gossips, Courthouse Towers, and the Tower of Babel. The scale is overwhelming. These formations stretch hundreds of feet into the sky, and you feel completely dwarfed by their presence. The trail itself is about a mile long each way and relatively easy, with gradual descent and plenty of flat stretches. It's a perfect spot for early morning or late afternoon hikes when the light casts deep shadows and brings out the reds and oranges of the rock. This is a pretty cool trail. I just walked all the way from way up there all the way down, and the scenery here is just gorgeous. After spending a few hours immersed in the towering beauty of the Park Avenue Trail, I made my way over to the window section, one of the most popular and photographed areas in Arches National Park. The arches here were undeniably impressive. North and south window along the turret arch stand tall against the open desert sky. But as I arrived, so did the crowds. The parking lot was packed and the trails were buzzing with people. It was beautiful, but a little too busy for the experience that I was looking for. So I decided to skip the hike and cut this stop short. Instead, I set my sights on something different, a remote part of the park that most visitors never see. Heading towards the off-road section, away from the pavement and foot traffic, I found exactly what I was looking for. Solitude, silence, a raw desert landscape, and this is where my real adventure begins. Once I left the main roads behind and dropped into the off-road section of Arches, everything changed. The crowds disappeared, and I was surrounded by nothing but wide open desert, sculpted rock, and that deep, quiet stillness that you can only find out here. The red sand was soft under the tires, loose enough to feel different, but still easy to drive on. The trail twisted through rolling terrain with sandstone outcrops and distant buttes painting the horizon. At one point, I let a Bronco pass me, and after that, I didn't see another soul for hours. It was just me, the trail, and the hum of the engine. No cell service, no chatter, no distractions. Just the sound of wind and the occasional bird cutting across the sky. In a park that sees over 1 million visitors a year, this kind of solitude is rare, and out here it felt like the entire desert was mine. Just walking onto this trail to take me to the arches, and it looks really cool here. Take a look at this. Just as I arrived at the entrance to a rugged, lesser-known trail, I crossed paths with a family making their way back to their car. They just finished the hike and offered a quick smile before disappearing down the road, leaving the trailhead completely empty. What lay ahead was a sprawling maze of red desert paths, some flat, others winding over rocky hills. With no signs or clear directions, each fork in the trail felt like a critical choice. One that could bring me closer to the massive arch that I was chasing, or send me further off course. Alone now with the quiet setting in, I followed my instincts deeper into this untamed part of the park. This video captures the solitude, the uncertainty, and the raw beauty of exploring a trail where every step could lead to something incredible or nowhere at all. As I stepped into the cave, the atmosphere changed. The light dimmed, the air cooled, and the silence deepened. Above me, two hollowed-out shapes in the rocks looked eerie like eyes watching me. It felt less like entering a cave and more like walking straight into the mouth of some ancient slumbering beast. There was something magical about this place. The way the sunlight filtered through just enough to paint the walls. The way every footstep echoed like a whisper. After the maze of trails and all the guessing, this moment made it all worth it. Standing there surrounded by stone and stillness was like finding a secret the desert has been keeping for centuries. After soaking in the magic of the cave, it was time to retrace my steps and head back towards the Jeep so I could start looking for a campsite. The trail, which already felt like a maze coming in, seemed even more unpredictable on the way out. Landmarks looked different from this angle. Familiar, but just off enough to make me second guess a few turns. I took my time and followed some subtle clues, a bend in the path, a distant rock formation, and the tracks I'd left earlier. Eventually, I made my way out, but did I find my Jeep? So that's the funnest I've had on this trip so far. That little walk right there to those arches, that was awesome. Now, let me tell you this. You ever seen those movies where they go on a trail and then they get off course and they just can't find their way out? That just happened to me. I thought I was following the trail back and I was way off and I was heading the wrong direction. And then a notification popped up on my phone saying, find your laptop. Find me. And so I hit the find me button and it told me that I was going in the wrong direction, thankfully. And it could have been hours or days before I found my Jeep again. And so it took me about 10 minutes or so to find my Jeep. I wasn't far off, but I would have been if I didn't stop and use that app. So that's awesome. What did you guys think of the archway and how it looked from inside facing outwards? Thanks so much for joining me on this drive through Arches National Park. What an incredible place. I hope you enjoyed the ride and the views as much as I did. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Utah adventures. There's plenty more on the way. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the drive, so drop a comment below and let me know what your favorite part was, and if you've been to Arches yourself. If you're looking for more stunning scenery and road trip vibes, here are 2 more videos that I think you'd really enjoy. See you guys next week.